You're fired. That is the message a Tri-State Police chief sent an officer last summer.
But that officer is still working, and now we found out that officer is the target of an investigation by the Attorney General.
Investigative reporter Jody Barr joins us now from the Manchester Police Department. So what's up with this, Jody?
Well, Rob and Tricia, this officer is still working here in Manchester tonight. He's working as a school resource officer at the Manchester High and Elementary schools here in town. Now, this officer drew the chief's ire last summer after the chief says he found something out about this officer, something no one in town knew before.
I believe I have more than enough evidence.
Manchester Police Chief Jeff Bowling's making a case against one of his own. The chief's targeting Officer Joshua Hayes, the village's school resource officer. The chief accused Hayes of illegally using a confidential law enforcement database for personal use.
You cannot access that for anything other than law enforcement use.
Bowling says the system contains personal phone numbers, social security numbers, addresses, and criminal background information. Information cops are only supposed to pull up for a legitimate law enforcement purpose.
Just going on a rough number, I was told that there's over 50 personal friends, girlfriends, ex-girlfriends, himself.
Hayes' personnel file shows he was arrested in Ashland, Kentucky by a narcotics unit in 2011. Hayes' file shows those agents spotted him at a house on Hilton Avenue, a house known for drugs and prostitutes. When he left, the agents pulled him over, where the Ashland chief says Hayes told agents he was conducting a drug investigation.
He identified himself as a police officer at that point.
And he was not a police officer? He
was not a police officer. He had currently been terminated from his past employer. When he was stopped by a narcotics unit, he identified himself and gave an ID as a police officer.
Hayes' file shows Ashland police charged him with impersonating a cop, drug possession, and a weapons charge. Prosecutors reduced the charges to disorderly conduct, and Hayes' file shows he pleaded guilty and dodged a year in jail by attending an 18-month drug treatment program. The file was later expunged, wiped off the court record forever. 2 years later, Hayes applied and was hired in Manchester. The chief says Joshua Hayes' application showed no criminal convictions, and his FBI background check showed nothing. Chief Bowling didn't find out about the Kentucky case until last summer, then opened an investigation. Days later, the chief fired Joshua Hayes.
I was extremely surprised, and I was upset.
Were you embarrassed?
I was absolutely embarrassed because I took this officer on his word.
We wanted to find out from Hayes exactly what happened. After several attempts to schedule an interview, we found him outside the police station last week. There's some serious allegations leveled against you that are under investigation. The chief says he doesn't feel you're fit to serve. Do you believe that to be the case?
No comment. No comment. I'm aware of the allegations, but right now, no comment. I know I can do my job effectively, and I know that I can get out here and do what I need to do for the people in this community. As far as me and the allegations and whatever he wants to accuse me of, and including a reference to my past, that will all be taken care of in a legal manner.
Now, that legal manner Officer Hayes speaks of, he is suing the police chief here. He's also suing the mayor and the village of Manchester. He's suing on several grounds. Among those are defamation, a hostile work environment, and invasion of privacy. Rob and Tricia.